Tablet, also known as the Emerald Tablet, is an ancient mystical text containing the most fundamental secrets of the universe. The Emerald Tablet holds all knowledge of alchemy, science, magic, and the origin and operation of the universe. It is no coincidence that this is considered one of the most important mysterious artifacts in human history. However, to this day, no explanation or hypothesis about the origin of the Emerald Tablet has been fully accepted by scholars or the public. The important formulas related to alchemy, the elixir of life, and other supernatural knowledge believed to be in the tablet remain a mystery. Today, we will explore the mystery of the Emerald Tablet's origin and the esoteric formulas buried for tens of thousands of years. Welcome to the primordial universe, the source of knowledge. Noise. Many legends circulate about the origin of the Emerald Tablet. Thus, it is unclear which story is true. The most famous is the story of Seth, son of Adam. He wrote the Emerald Tablet to help humanity atone for the sins his father committed in the Garden of Eden. The Emerald Tablet written by Seth consists of 12 distinct plates, made from a unique material created through alchemical transformation. These emerald plates can resist all material influences and natural environmental conditions. Another legend claims that Hermes is the founder of Western philosophy. Full name Hermes Trismegistus, meaning the thrice great. This name signifies that he holds 3 keys of secret knowledge related to alchemy, astrology, and mysticism. Many theologians believe Hermes predicted the advent of Christianity and left mysterious prophecies about future calamities for humanity. It is said that Hermes wrote countless books in his lifetime, containing most of the knowledge humanity needs to manipulate and operate the world. The most prominent are 3 texts. First is Pymanter. This text records the teachings of the gods to Hermes before he attained enlightenment. It mainly discusses cultivation, teaching people how to train their morals and overcome worldly desires. Second is the book recording Hermes' teachings to his disciple Asclepius. Asclepius' book teaches that by living in accordance with divine requirements, one gains wisdom. Some has of a book are as follows. Enlightened humans will see heaven ruling within their hearts, knowing they originated from an absolute, singular entity. Knowing they possess a part of the divine power that governs the universe. Humans have a duty to live in harmony with heaven, align with heaven, and coexist with all things. For the ancient Egyptians, all things through various paths will achieve the same goal of becoming divine. Finally, of course, is the Emerald Tablet we are discussing today. The most basic and essential content of the tablet is simply understood as the universe being created with a unified structure of above and below. To perceive this wonder, everything must be unified as one. Moreover, Hermes gave extremely mysterious prophecies about the future world. The first prophecy conveys the meaning of human spiritual life. Religious devotion will not exist, it will be an empty story. People will no longer believe in religion, and only morality carved in stone will remain. Afterward, people will grow weary of spiritual life and cease to believe in the world. There will still be things worthy of respect and people worthy of reverence. People will see religion as a burden and will despise it. Humans will no longer love the world, this unparalleled creation of God. And people will forget the omnipresent presence of God. However, after floods, famines, plagues, fatal diseases, wars, and other disasters, all religions will collapse. Only then will people turn their eyes to God. They will begin to pray again. earnestly beseeching God for protection once more. Then comes the prophecy about human faith and theology. Darkness triumphs over light, life is worse than death. No one dares to look up to heaven. The devout are considered insane. The irreverent are seen as intelligent. The mad are regarded as brave, and the wicked are considered good. When it comes to the immortality of the soul or the immortality of life, they will consider it laughable and false. No one believes or speaks about respect and reverence for the gods anymore. Third is the prophecy about the fate of the earth. The earth is no longer sustainable. The seas no longer have ships. The sky no longer supports the flying beings. The planets are no longer arranged in their orbits. The fruits on earth will rot. The land will become barren. The air will cease to circulate. After the disaster, the world will decline. There will be no more religion. Everything no longer follows rules. And the good things will disappear. This will be a period of chaos. All moral values will gradually vanish. People think about evil things. Darkness will envelop the soul. Therefore, we will no longer recognize our mistakes. A new bloody society emerges and humans become mentally chaotic. Their thoughts, words, and actions are no longer filled with love but full of selfishness. Everyone pursues extreme material life, and this pursuit makes them fall further away from the spiritual world. A dark dynasty is thus born. People will be ruled by cruel, corrupt, and selfish politicians. Those who only care about money and power. Nature will become unbalanced, disaster is approaching, and people will have to suffer the calamity they themselves created. However, from another perspective, a large number of concerned people believe that the true author of the Emerald Tablet is Thoth, the god of wisdom of Egypt. This is a god of writing and knowledge. Thoth is believed to have invented hieroglyphics and written magical treatises about the afterlife, sky, and earth. He is also considered the scribe of the gods and the patron of all arts. Thoth divided his knowledge into 42 emerald tablets. On them, the great scientific principles of the universe are systematically recorded. In essence, when someone is talking about the Emerald Tablet, they are referring to the works of Hermes, Jesus, Manetho, or the knowledge of the god Thoth. Although they are two distinct works, in some aspects, they share many strange similarities. The Emerald Tablet is essentially a foundation in the development of alchemy. Additionally, this tablet also contains knowledge about astrology, the elixir of life, or magic related to summoning certain supernatural entities. Alchemy is often misunderstood as merely transforming common metals like iron, lead, into gold. But in a broader sense, it also refers to magic and the development of other alternative forms of human energy. It is not by chance that people believe in the existence of the Emerald Tablet. Throughout history, there has been much evidence proving that the mentioned alchemy is completely real. For example, a translation by Isaac Newton was discovered among his papers. This translation is currently preserved in the King's College Library at Cambridge University. The content in this handwritten manuscript is astonishing. One could say it overturned human understanding of alchemy, and simultaneously overturned people's perception of Newton. Research staff discovered in a handwritten manuscript that Newton believed the wisdom of alchemy can be traced back to ancient knowledge. And that led him to Newton's 3 laws of motion. Thus, the birth of modern physics received inspiration from alchemy. The manuscript states that this kind of wisdom can attract all subtle tiny things. Its effect penetrates all solid matter. People know that modern physics has the law of universal gravity. They conclude as follows: between 2 points of matter, there is a gravitational force acting. So, could it be said that Newton's guidance for the law of universal gravitation did not come from the story of the falling apple, but from the Emerald Tablet, the classic of alchemy? Did it actually suggest it to him? More clear evidence of the existence of the Emerald Tablet must include the story of Flamel and his death. According to legend, Nicholas Flamel obtained an ancient mysterious book from a stranger. The book was written entirely in Hebrew and Greek. And in 1378, he went to Spain seeking translation assistance for a 21-page mysterious book by Abraham, also known as the Codex. Nicholas spent his entire life studying and uncovering the secrets surrounding this book. He went to a university in Andalusia to discuss with Jewish and Islamic authorities. In Spain, he was taught how to explore the hidden arts within his book. Flamel and his wife used the knowledge in the book, using the philosopher's stone to create silver in 1382 and later gold. Legend says that Abraham was a student of the god Thoth. Thoth personally transmitted knowledge to Abraham. Therefore, the Book of Abraham shares the same origin as the Emerald Tablet, both containing similar miraculous elements. After more than 25,000 dedicated studies, Flamel finally understood the mystical secret of alchemy. He discovered the most important substance for turning common metal into gold. That is the famous philosopher's stone, a real substance similar to that in mythology. Only with it can common metal be transformed into pure gold. Moreover, it can also create humanoid creatures called homunculi. It can even be used to create the elixir of immortality. This is the most ancient, mysterious thing, and it doesn't want humans to know about it. It is also the most convincing evidence for the existence of hidden. Believe me, turning stone into gold is completely real. It is a miracle among miracles. It is the power of morality, the power of deities. Therefore, for those who don't know, it is an invisible secret. Flamel affirmed this. Of course, he didn't publicly teach but only widely spread the news of his stone. Historical evidence shows Flamel was just a very ordinary book copyist, without much property and not from a wealthy family. But he built 14 hospitals in Paris and even a church. Therefore, everyone believed he possessed alchemy to have gained such great wealth. But in reality, that huge fortune of unclear origin wasn't the strangest thing in his life. In March 1417, when Flamel was 87 years old, he and his wife suddenly died together. Alchemy enthusiasts came in droves. They went to his former residence and Flamel's burial place, discovering strange symbols and inexplicable carvings. At this time, people in Flamel's house dug around searching, hoping to find the secret of their deaths. But they returned empty-handed. He resisted and dug up the grave to open Flamel and his wife. But an astonishing scene appeared. The coffins were empty. Perhaps they used the elixir of immortality to achieve eternal life. It seemed everything stopped here, but the strangeness continued mysteriously. By 1761, more than 300 years after Flamel and his wife's death, someone claimed to have seen the couple with their own eyes at a Paris theater. Later, many others also confirmed seeing them appear in various places. It can be seen that the origin of the Emerald Tablet inscription may never be known. What it conceals will forever remain an unsolved question. Regardless, it has kept people speculating and discussing throughout history. The origin of Western alchemy is believed to stem from Hellenistic Egypt, centered in the city of Alexandria. Coincidentally, both Hermes and Zosimos had close connections to Egypt. If we temporarily set aside the true origin of the Emerald Tablet, have you ever wondered if it exists? Has it ever been found? In my opinion, it was indeed found and partially exploited in the ancient world. This is reflected in the vast treasure of knowledge that ancient civilizations possessed. For example, the Library of Alexandria. This library in the Egyptian city of Alexandria was once one of the largest and most important libraries in the ancient world. It was part of a larger research institution called the Museum, the House of the Muses, the goddesses of poetry and arts. Alexandria was considered the capital of knowledge and scholarship, partly thanks to this great library. Many important and influential scholars worked at the library in the 3rd and 2nd centuries BCE, such as Xenodotus of Ephesus, who standardized the text of Homer's works, Callimachus, who wrote the Pinax, considered the world's first library catalog, Eratosthenes of Cyrene, who calculated the Earth's circumference with an error of only a few hundred kilometers. Aristophanes of Byzantium, the inventor of the Greek diacritical system and the first to divide poetic texts into lines. Aristarchus of Samothrace, who created complete texts of Homer's poems along with profound commentaries on them. During the reign of Ptolemy VIII Euergetes, a daughter library was established at the Serapeum, which was the temple of the god Serapis, a Greco-Egyptian deity. Despite the common belief today that the library was catastrophically burned and destroyed, in reality, it declined gradually over many centuries, beginning with the purge of scholars in Alexandria in 145 BC under Ptolemy VIII Physcon, leading to Aristarchus of Samothrace, the library director, resigning and migrating to Cyprus. Many other scholars, including Dionysios Thrax and Apollodorus of Athens, fled to other cities. There, they continued teaching and conducting research. The entire library or part of its collection was accidentally burned by Julius Caesar during his civil war in 48 BC. But it's unclear how the library was destroyed, and it appears to have continued existing or was rebuilt shortly after. The geographer Strabo mentioned the Museum complex around 20 BC. And the scholarly works of Didymos Chalcedonus in Alexandria during this period show that he had access to the library's collection. The library declined during the Roman period due to lack of funding and support. It appears to have ceased operations in the 260s. Between 270 and 275, the city of Alexandria witnessed a rebellion and imperial suppression. Perhaps this destroyed what remained. The Serapeum daughter library may have survived after the main library was destroyed. The Serapeum was destroyed in 391 AD by decree of Theophilus, the patriarch of the Alexandrian Orthodox Church. It seems it no longer resembled a library at that time but was mainly used as a gathering place for Platonist philosophers, followers of Iamblichus. It's still impossible to determine with certainty the size of the collection at any given time. Alexandria was not the only library. By the end of the Hellenistic period, most cities in the eastern Mediterranean had public libraries, and many towns had medium-sized libraries. During the Roman period, numerous libraries were built. By the 4th century, there were at least 20 public libraries in Rome. In late antiquity, when the Roman Empire adopted Christianity, Christian libraries were built and organized following the model of the Alexandria Library, and other major libraries of the earlier pagan period began to be established throughout the eastern region of the empire. Among the notable communities of the Greeks, the largest and most prominent libraries were the Library of Caesarea Maritima, Jerusalem, and a Christian library in Alexandria. These libraries stored both pagan and Christian works side by side. Christian scholars applied the method of Judeo-Christian scriptural criticism, similar to how the scholars of the Alexandria Library once analyzed Greek classical works. However, the study of pagan authors remained secondary to the study of Christian scriptures until the Renaissance. Sadly, the survival of ancient texts is almost non-existent in the major libraries of antiquity. Instead, most texts are copies, even copies of copies. Initially by professional scribes during the papyrus period, and later by monks during the medieval and Renaissance periods. What do you think about this emerald tablet inscription? Are the stories from legends translated by modern scholars, or the awe of the Alexandria Library sufficient to prove the existence of the emerald tablet inscription? Personally, I still have strong faith in this emerald tablet inscription, believing in the knowledge that the inscription has brought in the past. Hopefully in the future, humans will truly decode the mystery of this endless source of knowledge. Thank you for spending time with Primitive Universe. In the next journey, if you want to explore any mysteries, don't hesitate to leave comments below the video. Thank you for watching the video. Please subscribe to The Dark Truth. Please subscribe to the Gi and Mi Go channel so you don't miss exciting videos.